let's say you have a product category, and the only way for them to title that product is to put that category on there. So it's like brown ottoman, and then it's like ottomans and chairs, blah, blah, blah. And so I would love if I could create a rule within the prompt to say, if the category is already included, don't put it in the title again. I'll ask a feed gen question to Glen out loud here, just in case anyone's tinkering with it. And Glen, sorry to put you on the spot, but we'll see. So I'm working with feed gen right now. I finally got it working. Full transparency, Glen had to help me like 3 times because I made every mistake he can make. So the next thing I'm finding now is that I like some of the things it's producing for me. So I created 10 different titles, or sorry, not titles, 10 different products across different category lines. And I like the way that some were produced. Specifically, I found the product descriptions are just broken out much better than like the blobs of text you usually get. And I'm wondering how you can try and get consistency among that. Is that just a prompt? Like,
what model are you using? Flash?
I don't remember. I think I'm using the cheapest one because we were just testing.
Flash.
Is it Flash? Yeah, I'm using Flash.
1.5 Pro Vision is going to give you by far the better output. We've tested the difference between the two. Flash is the same cost as 1. 1.5 is, it's more expensive, but you're just going to get better output. Now, the prompt for the title and the description will determine everything on the output.
Yeah.
I'm working on developing those prompts. I'm using ChatGPT to see if it can write me better prompts.
Ironic. Yeah.
And test those prompts. Now, in saying that, the large language models always have a problem with content length. You can say, I need this length and I don't need it. You can't go over this. Now, sentiment, because we're talking about Google here, Google is very sentiment based. And so we need to work out some sort of wording that says, don't do this. We need to make it a positive sentiment. And I've been working on prompts for copy using GPT 4.0, and the output has been really good. What I get from it, especially from a content length, is way better than I get from Gemini. So I'm working on a prompt to replace the existing prompts in FeedGen that we can get better output inside FeedGen for the titles.
Yeah, like the titles are fine. That's my thing, is I just want within like the titles, I like the consistency there's fine, but let's say I have instances where I have let's say you have a product category, and the only way for them to title that product is to put that category on there. So it's like brown ottoman, and then it's like ottomans and chairs, blah, blah, blah. And so I would love if I could create a rule within the prompt to say, if the category is already included, don't put it in the title again. So it's just those little things. And my simple question is, I think it is, you're kind of answering it. It sounds like we just kind of have to play with that prompt a little bit.
Also to consider using markdown. So markdown is what, if you look at the large language models, everyone's aware of the concept of HTML code. HTML has tags like P tags, closing P tags. Bold is a strong, closing strong with a slash. So markdown is similar to HTML, but if you want to say this word here is bolded, or I want that to stand out, or italicized, or it's a heading 1, a heading 2, a heading 3, you've got to add different characters. And so if you add markdown to certain things, it tells the large language model, this is important, pay attention to it. So when I'm from a character length perspective, when I'm saying, ideally, I would like the output to be between, say, if you're looking at a headline, I want it to be between 23 and 30 characters. And then when I have headline, I'll add asterisks, 2 asterisks either side, which means that it insinuates a bold. Then whenever I'm mentioning that, it knows it can refer back to that markdown. Then at the end, I say extremely important heading tag, put the heading markdown there, the title needs to be, so you're saying needs to be 20 to 30 characters. So I repeat it, I say it again, so it accentuates that point. Now, what I've been finding is what this thing does is when you say characters, it's been ignoring the spaces. So between words, we've got to have spaces. So it sees the characters, it doesn't see a space as a character. So it goes, here you go, this is within 30 characters, but you got 4 spaces and it comes up to 34 characters. So I tell it, I want you to ignore spaces, commas, hyphens, and pipes and include them. Sorry, I want you to include them as characters as well as the items. So having the understanding of markdown, and I've got a full sheet on what markdown is and everything that you need to take into account. I don't know if you guys are interested in that, but I can share that.
Give me all your stuff. I'm taking it all anyways.
Of course you are. That's what I'm finding works really well with me, with the prompting, with the copy. Now I've dialed in, and I know Diego's been using that. I've really dialed in this prompt, and I'm working on creating a Solutions 8 GPT on all this copy. So I'm going to do one for RSAs, DSAs, video titles and descriptions as well. So we'll share that once. But I'm going to work on the RSAs first, and then a GPT for PMAX titles and descriptions, because they have a 60 character short description, then 90 characters as well. They have a little bit different. They're very similar. The Performance Max titles and descriptions are very similar to a normal RSA. So, yeah. Hi everyone, Glenn from Solutions 8 here, and here we are in the Solutions 8 test kitchen. It's actually physically my kitchen that I've got my office set up in. But this is where I'll be running tests, experimenting with things, playing with things. And what I wanted to do is shoot you a quick video on how I use